Hello and welcome to this video lecture. The title of this video lecture is Estrus Cycle. Estrus cycle is one of the reproductive cycles. Another one is menstrual cycle. Estrus cycle is characterized in lower mammals, and in this cycle ovulation takes place in heat period. When the female is particularly receptive to the male, and after the heat period the female is not receptive to the male. In some of the mammals, the heat period comes only once in a year. They are known as monoestrous. And in some, like domestic dogs, it is twice a year. They are diestrous. And in variety of other mammals, such as laboratory rats, they are polyestrous because that comes many times in a year. In laboratory rats, the estrus cycle is well studied. In rats, the estrus cycle can be divided into 4 phases, namely estrus phase or the heat period, metaestrus, diestrus, and proestrus. And the complete cycle takes 4 to 5 days to complete. And the timing of this 4 to 5 days is influenced by many external factors like light, temperature, nutritional status, and social relationship. In estrus phase, mainly copulation is permitted. It lasts from 9 to 15 hours, and in this the female is very active and restless. And under the influence of FSH, number of follicles, they attain the maturity, and at this level the estrogen level is also very high. So the behavior wise, the female is very active and receptive to the male. The female shows its arch back when the male approaches. The uterus also undergoes enlargement and it becomes filled with the fluid that is known as luminal fluid. The vaginal mucus undergoes repeated mitosis and new cells accumulate. The superficial layers become squamous and keratin deposit, that is cornified. The cornified cells get shed into the vaginal lumen. During late estrus period, the vaginal lumen has cornified cells with degenerated nucleus. Ovulation occurs in this heat period, and the luminal fluid in the uterus is also lost before the ovulation. Next is the metaestrus period. Metaestrus period is short. It lasts from 10 to 14 hours. Mating is not permitted in this period, and the empty follicles that develop into corpus luteum, and the corpus luteum secretes the progesterone. So the level of progesterone is high here. The uterus becomes less vascular and gets ready for the implantation, and the vaginal lumen has only few cornified cells and many leukocyte cells. Next is the diestrus phase. This phase lasts 60 to 70 hours. So this is a long phase, and mainly it is the resting phase. In this phase, the corpus luteum becomes degenerated, it regress, it becomes small. Uterus also becomes small, highly contracted, and the vaginal mucus is thin, and the smear consists of entirely the leukocyte cells. Next is the proestrus phase. This again prepare the follicles. This period is before the next heat period. The corpus luteum is completely regressed, and therefore the progesterone level is also low. The FSH level or the follicle stimulating hormone level starts rising, and under the influence of this hormone, the follicles develop. Fluid collects into the uterus. They become highly contractile. The vaginal smear consists of nucleated epithelial cells that occur singly or in sheets copulation is not permitted in this, and the females are not receptive. The diagram shows in estrus we find keratinized epithelial cells, and in metaestrus we find few keratinized epithelial cells and more leukocyte cells, and in diestrus only leukocyte cells and but few epithelial cells are also there. In proestrus only epithelial cells are there. So by making the smear of vaginal mucus we can identify which is the heat period or estrus period in rats. And lastly, in case of pregnancy occurs, the cycle are interrupted for the duration of gestation, that is the pregnancy period. In rat, the pregnancy period or the gestation period is 20 to 22 days, and at the end of pregnancy the animal comes into the estrus, but the cycle again get delayed until the termination of lactation. That's all in this video. If you like this video, kindly share this video.